today. We're going to be exploring something pretty mind-blowing, actually.
Oh, yeah.
AI chips and quantum computing.
Yeah.
You sent over some fascinating articles and research, things like excerpts from the convergence of AI chips and quantum computing.
Yeah.
Future possibilities.
Right.
It's a lot to unpack, so we're here to help break it all down.
Yeah, it's definitely a fascinating area, where two really powerful technologies are coming together and have the potential to really change things.
Absolutely. So first things first.
Yeah.
Let's talk AI chips.
Sure.
I get that AI is a big deal these days, but what exactly are these chips and why are they so important?
Well, you can think of AI chips like specialized brains for computers, designed to handle the really tough tasks that artificial intelligence needs.
Okay.
See, AI systems need to be able to learn from massive amounts of data, and that takes a lot of processing power.
Right.
Regular computer chips, the kind in your laptop, are more like generalists, they're good at everyday things, but not so much for the heavy lifting that AI demands.
So it's like having a regular chef versus a Michelin star chef.
Oh, I like that.
One can handle basic meals, but the other one is needed for those really complex, intricate dishes.
That's a great analogy. And just like different chefs specialize in, different cuisines, there are different types of AI chips, each with its own strengths.
Right.
Some are more flexible,
Uh-huh.
while others are incredibly efficient for specific tasks.
Okay.
And what's really fascinating is that this market is growing unbelievably fast by 2029.
Wow.
It's projected to be worth over $300 billion.
That's huge.
That tells you how important these chips are becoming.
Yeah, it makes sense because AI is being used everywhere these days.
It is.
From, our smartphones and smartwatches to self-driving cars.
Right.
And huge data centers.
Exactly.
It seems like AI chips are quietly powering so much of our world already.
Absolutely, they are. Now let's bring in the other big player here.
Okay.
Quantum computing.
Right.
And this is where things get really mind-bending.
Okay, I'm ready to have my mind bent. I know that it involves quantum mechanics,
It does.
but to be honest, that stuff has always seemed like magic to me.
It does feel like magic sometimes, but it's real science. And the principles behind it are what make quantum computing so powerful.
Yeah.
Let's imagine you have a coin.
Okay.
A regular computer bit is like that coin. It can be their heads or tails, 0 or 1.
Right.
But a qubit, the quantum equivalent, can be both heads and tails at the same time.
Wait,
That's called superposition.
hold on. How can something be two things at once? That doesn't seem possible.
That's the beauty of quantum mechanics. It operates by different rules than the world that we experience.
Okay.
And superposition is just the beginning.
Oh, wow.
There's also something called entanglement, where two qubits can be linked together even if they're far apart. So
What?
if you change one, the other one changes instantly, no matter the distance.
No way.
It's like they're communicating faster than the speed of light.
That's wild. So how do these strange quantum properties actually translate into computing power? What makes quantum computers so special?
Well, think of it this way. A regular computer is like a single chef trying to solve a complex recipe. They can only work on one ingredient at a time.
Right.
But a quantum computer is like having a team of chefs all working simultaneously on different parts of that recipe.
I see.
That's the power of superposition and entanglement. They allow quantum computers to perform calculations in parallel.
So it's not just about speed, but about tackling problems in a completely different way.
Exactly. And that's why quantum computers have the potential to solve problems in minutes that would take classical computers thousands of years.
That's
It
incredible.
was like comparing a bicycle to a spaceship.
Okay. That's a
Ah.
pretty powerful image.
Something like that.
I'm starting to see why there's so much excitement around quantum computing.
Hmm.
It sounds like it could revolutionize just about everything.
It really does have that potential.
But our sources also mention some challenges.
Oh, yeah.
What are some of the hurdles that these technologies face?
Yeah, you're right. It's not all smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Qubits are incredibly fragile, like delicate snowflakes.
Right.
The slightest disturbance can disrupt a calculation.
Oh, wow.
Imagine trying to cook a souffle in the middle of an earthquake.
Oh, no.
That's the level of sensitivity we're talking about.
Wow.
And plus, just building large-scale quantum computers is a huge engineering challenge.
So it's a bit like having this incredibly powerful engine, but it's still in the experimental phase and needs a lot of fine-tuning.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Okay.
And on the AI chip side, there are challenges too.
Yeah.
It's all about finding the right balance between power, performance, and size.
Okay.
You want these chips to be incredibly powerful, but also energy efficient, especially for devices like smartphones that rely on batteries.
Right. So it's this constant push and pull between making the most powerful chip possible,
Yeah.
but also one that's practical and can actually be used out in the real world.
Exactly, and that's where a lot of the innovation is happening right now.
All right. So we've got these two powerful technologies, each with their own set of strengths and challenges. But what happens when we bring them together?
Right.
What does the convergence of AI chips and quantum computing actually look like?
That's where things get really interesting. We're starting to see the rise of hybrid systems. Think of them as partnerships between classical and quantum computers.
Okay.
It's like having the Michelin star chef and the regular chef working together in the same kitchen, each bringing their own expertise to create something amazing.
Ah, so they complement each other.
Yes,
One isn't replacing the other. They work together to achieve something greater than either could on their own.
precisely. And there are some really cool examples of this already happening.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one is a hybrid emulation platform
Okay.
developed by Dell and IBM.
Ah,
It uses Dell PowerEdge servers, which are really powerful classical computers, alongside IBM's Qiskit Runtime, which is a cloud-based quantum computing platform.
so it's like having a team of regular chefs using these special quantum ovens to create these incredible dishes.
Yeah, that's a great way to visualize it, and the
Mhm.
results are really impressive. This platform allows researchers to test and run quantum algorithms much faster, crunching calculations in a single day that would have taken weeks before.
Wow, so that's a huge speed boost for scientific discovery.
Huge speed boost.
That's amazing. And I have a feeling this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, definitely.
There's so much more to explore with this powerful duo.
Absolutely. We've only just scratched the surface of what's possible when AI chips and quantum computing join forces.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of AI chips and quantum computing.
Last time we laid the groundwork, explaining what these technologies are and how they're coming together.
Right.
But now let's get into the real world stuff.
Yes.
How is
Yeah.
this partnership actually changing things out there?
Well, one area where we're seeing a huge impact is in drug discovery.
Okay.
This field is traditionally very slow and expensive.
Researchers can spend years, sometimes even decades, testing thousands of molecules just to try and find one potential new drug.
It sounds like trying to find a needle in a haystack, except the haystack is made of molecules.
Exactly. It's a very time-consuming and resource-intensive process.
Wow.
But quantum computing has the potential to really speed things up dramatically.
Okay.
Imagine being able to simulate how molecules interact with each other at an incredibly detailed level, even before setting foot in a lab.
So instead of mixing chemicals in test tubes, they can run these virtual experiments on a quantum computer and see what happens.
That's the idea. It's like having a superpowered microscope that lets you zoom in and see how individual atoms are behaving.
Oh, wow.
This could help researchers identify promising drug candidates much faster, saving years of research and millions of dollars.
That's amazing. And we talked earlier about Moderna using quantum computing for this.
Right.
Can you tell me more about what they're doing?
Sure. Moderna, the company that developed one of the COVID-19 vaccines, is actually working with IBM to use quantum computers to design even better mRNA vaccines in the future.
Wow.
It's like upgrading from a hand-drawn map to a GPS system for vaccine development.
So the next time a new virus emerges, we might be able to develop a vaccine much faster thanks to quantum computing.
That's the hope. And it's not just about vaccines.
What?
This technology could really revolutionize the way we develop treatments for all sorts of diseases, from cancer to Alzheimer's.
This idea of personalized medicine is really fascinating to me.
Yeah.
You mentioned researchers at the University of Toronto using quantum computing to tailor cancer treatments, based on a patient's unique genetic makeup.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Absolutely. So right now, many cancer treatments are kind of like a one-size-fits-all approach.
Okay.
But each person's cancer is unique, and their genetic makeup plays a big role in how they respond to different therapies. What these researchers are doing is they're using quantum algorithms to analyze a patient's genes and predict which treatment is most likely to be effective for them.
So it's like creating a custom-made medicine tailored to an individual's specific needs.
Exactly, and that's just one example.
Wow.
Quantum computing could be used to develop personalized treatments for a whole range of conditions, making healthcare much more precise and effective.
It's really incredible to think about all the possibilities.
Yeah, it is.
But healthcare is just one area where this partnership is making waves.
Right.
You mentioned earlier that quantum computing could also revolutionize material science.
It could.
How so?
Well, designing new materials is kind of like playing with Legos at the atomic level.
Okay.
You're trying to find the right combination of atoms to create a material with specific properties,
Uh-huh.
like strength, flexibility, or conductivity.
Right.
But instead of snapping Lego bricks together, scientists are working with incredibly tiny building blocks, atoms, and molecules.
And that's where quantum computers come in.
Precisely, quantum computers are like having a virtual lab where you can experiment with different atomic arrangements and see how they behave.
So they can simulate new materials before actually trying to create them in a real lab.
Exactly. Imagine trying to build a bridge without knowing how strong the materials are or how they'll behave under stress.
Right.
That's what scientists have been doing for centuries with new materials, a lot of trial and error.
Wow.
Quantum computers could change all that, letting them design and test materials in a virtual world before actually building them in the real one.
What kind of materials are we talking about here? What could we create with this technology?
Well, the possibilities are mind-boggling. We could create super efficient solar panels that capture more energy from the sun,
Wow.
batteries that last for weeks instead of days,
Okay.
or even lightweight but incredibly strong materials for building cars, airplanes, and spacecraft.
It sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie.
It does, but it's becoming more and more realistic.
Wow.
And here's another exciting application: carbon capture.
Mm-hmm.
You know how climate change is a big problem because of all the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, quantum computers could help us design new materials that are really good at capturing that carbon dioxide from the air,
Okay.
almost like a giant sponge soaking up pollution.
So these tiny quantum particles could actually help us fight climate change on a large scale.
That's the hope. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the smallest things can have the biggest impact.
We've covered healthcare, material science. It's amazing how far-reaching this technology is.
It is.
Are there any other industries being impacted by this partnership?
Absolutely. The world of finance, for example, is already experimenting with quantum computing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for things like risk assessment and portfolio optimization.
You mentioned earlier that Goldman Sachs is using quantum algorithms for financial modeling.
Right.
Can you explain how that works?
Well, think of it this way. Financial markets are incredibly complex. There are so many factors that can influence stock prices, currency exchange rates, and other financial indicators.
Yeah.
It's like trying to predict the weather, but with a lot more variables.
Right.
What Goldman Sachs is doing is using quantum algorithms to create incredibly sophisticated financial models that can take into account all these different factors and make more accurate predictions about market trends.
So they're trying to use the power of quantum computing to get a clearer picture of what's happened in the financial world.
Exactly. It's like having a crystal ball that actually works.
That must be pretty valuable information in the world of finance. What other applications are on the horizon?
Well, beyond finance, quantum computing is also being explored in areas like logistics and transportation.
Okay.
Imagine being able to optimize delivery routes for thousands of packages simultaneously,
Right.
or manage traffic flow in a busy city in real time
Wow.
to reduce congestion and pollution.
It sounds like a city planner's dream.
It does.
It seems like there's almost no limit to the potential applications of this technology.
That's the exciting part. We're still in the early stages of exploring what's possible.
Yeah.
But one thing is clear: AI chips and quantum computing are a powerful combination that has the potential to reshape our world in profound ways.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into the world of AI chips and quantum computing.
We've explored what these technologies are, how they work together, and, how they're already being used in the real world. But now let's shift our focus to the future.
Okay, let's put on our futuristic goggles.
Yeah.
What are some of the emerging trends that have you most excited about the future of AI chips and quantum computing?
Well, one trend that's really fascinating to me is the development of quantum machine learning, or QML for short.
Okay.
It's like taking the already pretty impressive capabilities of AI
Yeah.
and giving them this quantum boost.
We touched on QML briefly earlier, but honestly, I'd love to hear more.
Sure.
It sounds like a pretty big deal.
It is. It's essentially about combining the learning abilities of AI with the, immense processing power of quantum computers. Imagine AI systems that can tackle problems of incredible complexity, problems that would take, classical computers millions of years to solve.
Okay, that sounds pretty powerful. Can you give me some concrete examples of what QML might actually be able to achieve?
Well, one area where QML could have a huge impact is in material science.
Okay.
We talked earlier about how quantum computers can help design new materials, right?
Right.
Now imagine using QML to not just design materials, but to discover entirely new ones with properties we haven't even imagined yet.
Wow.
It's like giving scientists a toolbox filled with, quantum tools
Yeah.
to create materials that are lighter, stronger, more conductive, or more efficient than anything we have today.
So it's not just about improving existing materials, but about unlocking this whole new world of possibilities in material science.
Exactly. And the applications go far beyond materials.
Right.
Think about financial markets, for example.
Okay.
QML could be used to develop incredibly sophisticated trading algorithms that can predict market movements with unbelievable accuracy, potentially revolutionizing the way we invest and manage risk.
It sounds like QML could have a pretty significant impact on just about every industry.
That's the potential.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just about applying QML to existing problems, it's also about discovering entirely new applications that we haven't even thought of yet.
Right.
That's the beauty of these emerging technologies. They open up this whole world of possibilities that we're only just beginning to explore.
It's incredibly exciting, but also a bit daunting, honestly.
Yeah.
It's hard to really wrap my head around all the potential changes that these technologies could bring.
I understand it is a lot to take in,
Yeah.
but that's why it's so important to have these conversations, to
Yeah.
explore these ideas and try to understand the implications of these really powerful technologies.
You mentioned another area of research that caught my attention.
Yeah,
AI-enhanced quantum algorithms.
right.
So isn't AI already involved in quantum computing, though? What's different here?
You're right. AI and quantum computing are already working together. But with AI-enhanced quantum algorithms, we're talking about using AI to actually improve the quantum algorithms themselves.
So it's like using AI to make quantum computing even better.
Exactly. Think of it as training an AI system to become a quantum mechanic,
Yeah.
tweaking and fine-tuning the algorithms to squeeze every bit of performance out of the quantum hardware.
It's like this technological feedback loop where AI is helping quantum computing reach its full potential.
That's a great way to put it.
Wow.
And one area where AI is really making a difference is in error correction.
Okay.
Qubits are so incredibly fragile, remember,
Oh,
and any disturbance can throw off a calculation.
right.
But AI is helping develop techniques to detect and correct these errors,
Wow.
making quantum computers much more reliable.
So it's like having a spell checker for quantum computers, making sure that all the calculations are accurate.
That's a perfect analogy. And AI is also helping to improve the efficiency of quantum algorithms,
Okay.
making them run faster and require fewer qubits. This is especially important because building large-scale quantum computers is still a huge challenge.
Yeah.
So any improvement that makes these algorithms more efficient is a big step forward.
It's amazing to see how AI is playing such a crucial role in advancing quantum computing.
Yeah,
It really is a partnership where both technologies are benefiting.
absolutely. And as this partnership continues to evolve, we can expect to see just this wave of innovation and breakthroughs in the coming years. It's an incredibly exciting time to be following these technologies.
It has been an incredible journey exploring this world
It has.
of AI chips and quantum computing.
Right.
We've gone from, the basics to the mind-boggling potential of the future.
We have.
As we wrap up, I have to ask, what's your biggest takeaway from all of this?
That's a good question.
What's the one thing you really want listeners to remember from our conversation today?
I think the most important thing to remember is that we're at this pivotal moment in technological history. AI chips and quantum computing aren't just incremental advancements, they're transformative technologies that have the potential to really reshape our world in profound ways.
Absolutely.
And it's really up to us as a society to decide how we want to use these incredibly powerful tools.
That's a really powerful thought.
Right.
It's not just about the technology itself, but about the choices that we make and the future that we want to create.
Exactly. And as you continue to explore this fascinating landscape, remember to stay curious, ask questions, and engage in the conversation about the future we want to build.
Right.
The future of AI and quantum computing is ultimately in our hands.
That's a wonderful note to end on. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions.